Hello everyone, and welcome back to RuneScape. Today we're going to be doing another quest, but before we start I'll say I messed with my audio settings again, which keeps happening. Hopefully it's okay again this time. I was just trying to make it where it doesn't peak so much, so let me know if it sounds worse than the last episode, but hopefully it's okay. Anyway, so today we're doing Murder on the Border. It's the second Fort Forinthry quest, and I believe we start it here. Greetings, Your Grace. We'll talk about the quest. Your Grace, we have received an urgent request from the king. I wonder what's going to happen in this quest. If the request is from King Rold, it must be important. Any other king, not important. But if it's from him, then it's important. Indeed it is. Alas, I must warn you, the nature of this request may be distressing. What is it? King Rold requests we host a banquet at Fort Forinthry to commemorate your appointment as a duke. The royal family will be in attendance, as well as select members of the nobility. That doesn't sound particularly distressing. Pardon me, Your Grace, but have you met the other dukes and duchesses? The Miscellanean nobility? Or the queen, for that matter. Why do we need to throw a dinner party for the king again? It is customary for all newly appointed nobles of your station to do so. Still, the political machinations of the nobility are not a matter to be taken lightly. Be prepared for backstabbing, betrayal, and underhanded deals, and a plethora of sarcastic jabs and passive-aggressive remarks. So just like any other day, I suppose such antics are commonplace for one with as colorful a past as yourself. I can't deny the appeal. The thrill of political intrigue, seduction, ambition, and scandal does pique my interest. I mean, we don't really have much seduction or scandals in RuneScape, at least not yet. It's the backdrop of volumes 12 through 17 of Murder in Ardoyne, the best mystery series in Gielinor, I'll have you know. Hopefully our soiree involves less bloodshed than the one in volume 14. I'm sure it will be fine. With your leadership, I'm confident it shall. There are several preparations that must be made in order for us to accommodate a banquet of this magnitude. We will need to construct a kitchen for the fort, recruit a building manager, and gather supplies. Speak with Bill. I believe he has plans for a kitchen extension to the town hall. I shall look into recruiting a building manager for the new kitchen, and direct our staff to gather produce from the local area. I'll speak to Bill then. He should be at the workshop as usual. Alright, so good. So far, so good, I mean. Alright, Bill. Hey there, mate. Your Grace. Aster told me we may need to host a party for some bigwigs coming over from the capital. Several of the kingdom's nobility will be attending, apparently, as well as the king and queen themselves. Blimey, it'll take quite the kitchen to cook a feast worthy of that lot. Luckily, I've been drawing up some blueprints for a kitchen extension to the town hall. This should be just what we need. Take a look at the table and see what you think. Thanks, Bill. I think it's exactly what we have the supplies for. Alright, we got 49 rested XP now. I guess we just go build it. It seems that way, at least. It's interesting, you can cut this tree, but not that one. You can cut that one. I don't think you can cut that one, though. Maybe I'm just too far away. Either way, I did build the lodestone. Apparently you could just do that. It was just under a different section than all the other fancy things. But yeah, we've got the full fort now. It's pretty nice. You guys haven't seen it before if you've only watched my episodes at least. But this is what we looks like after new foundations. I think I could have upgraded all these buildings, but I'm kind of on a time limit here, so we're just going straight into it. Bare minimum plus the lodestone. I'll get all the rest built later, maybe this weekend, at least some of it. I'm not sure I'm motivated to upgrade every single building, but at the very least getting the which one is it, the town hall that does the rested XP, getting that one upgraded would be nice because it upgrades your limit. I'm trying to remember. I think it said like 100 breasted XP is equal to like a small bonus XP lamp. I think that's what it said. I'm not entirely sure. So, I mean, it's not like it's a huge amount or anything, but it's definitely something. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys skip this, so I'll see you in a second. Alright, that took a very short amount of time, and now we are just about done there. I also grabbed a staff during that, because apparently we're going to need it. Alright, well there we go. We have this thing here. It has this thing I noticed while you're building. Oh yeah, we'll get all these things. We'll never fail cutting through spiderwebs. Interesting. I didn't realize that was a reward. Okay. Yep. Yep, I get it. Alright. Well, anyway, I don't know really what we do next. I guess we probably talk to Aster and see if they've got anything to do with somebody to actually be in there. Greetings, Your Grace. I have contacted several promising candidates for the new building manager position. Might I recommend my sister, Bianca? She is a highly skilled cook. Having worked for the Varrock Palace in the past, she's able to arrive in time for the feast. Sounds good to me. Marvelous. Our staff have been scouring the local area for produce. There is little edible here, but we have a few options. There is poisonous hollyhock gathered from the local fauna, and a large quantity of meat of dubious origin. Let's hope our guests bring additional supplies with them. Gifts of food and drink are customary, so what we have gathered thus far should suffice. I took the liberty of sending invitations ahead of time. Meet me by the front gates when you're ready to greet our guests. Oh wow, so we're just going straight into it, huh? Is this what this is for? It's kind of interesting how they're using these portals. I'm not sure if I like it or not. It's definitely something, though. We are all prepared to start the banquet, Your Grace. I believe I hear the king's retinue approaching. They should be here in but a moment. Introducing King Rold Romanus III of Mistlane and Queen Elamaria, I don't know. Duke KaBob, there you are. Welcome to Fort Ferentry, Your Majesty. Skip the pleasantries, Duke. We need to talk about the lax security along the King's Road. Our retinue were beset by cultists less than a mile from your gates. I have a feeling our retinue has now patrolled that route more times than your troops. We do not currently have any troops stationed here, Your Majesty. A fort in the wilderness with no guards? Be thankful that we brought several of our own with us. As well as this person, who's just kind of dancing around. Not that it was enough to save the wine. I did warn you that such a large convoy would draw attention, my love. It is a feast, Rold. Ferentry is hardly known for its bountiful harvests. If I must share my table with these people, we can at least bring them aid. Should we be concerned about these cultists targeting the banquet? I'd like to see them try. I don't believe so. They were little more than vagabonds, though they bore the mark of Zamorak. Unfortunately, we did lose some of our supplies in the attack. May I ask who accompanies you this evening? This is Simon, the royal wine taster. Pleasure to meet you. And the flower of Lumbridge, Iris Ruthven, attending on behalf of Duke Horatio. I'm so excited to be here. My horoscope told me that tonight's party would be one for the history books. I'm not sure why you're throwing a party for books, but I bet they'll have a wonderful time. Pleasure to meet you both. Please make your way inside. The other guests will join us shortly. And our new kitchen manager should be here any second. Are they the building manager or kitchen manager? You've called them both. Introducing our new kitchen manager and my dear sister, Bianca. Nice hat. Aster, it's been too long. It certainly has. How are you faring, Bee? Times have been difficult since I was fired from my previous job. I really put my foot in it. What happened? Let's just say there was a bit of a tumble, and half the soup I had prepared for dinner ended up on Lord Muse and his wife. They were less than impressed. Welcome to Fort Ferentry. You must be Duke KaBob. It's an honor to make your acquaintance. It seems as though we're already behind schedule. I'd better get to work. In the meantime, I believe we have more guests approaching. Oh no, who's it going to be this time? Oh, a dog. Princess. Introducing Duke Cole Horse and Lord Rodney Midas and Princess? Welcome to Fort Forinthry, Your Grace. Yes, I don't need to hear this spiel. Duke KaBob, I assume? I'm certain you already know who I am. I don't, but I'm gonna guess that this option is correct, probably? Okay, he's the Duke of Edgeville. Indeed I am, Cole Augustus Horse, Duke of Edgeville. Remember that name. Please forgive my dear fiancé. It's been a long day, and his patience is wearing thin. Not that he had much to begin with. Rodney? Yes, that's my name, darling. Rodney Midas, pleasure to make your acquaintance, KaBob. What a lovely little redoubt you have here. It's very homely. Bleak and dreary, more like it. Poor princess is practically cowering in fear. I can't talk. Yeah, this is coming from the guy who left Edgeville like half destroyed for like 10 years before we were finally allowed to rebuild it. Although we haven't seen that yet on this account. Well, they voice acted the dog. I suggest you join the king and queen inside the town hall. Our final arrival should be here any moment. Ella and Rold are already here, eh? Ha, I bet they'll be overjoyed to see me, especially Ella. Alba, huh? Introducing our final guest, Duchess Hyatt of Lumford. What in the world is Lumford? Let's get through this as quickly as possible, shall we? You're Duke KaBob. I'm Alba Hyatt, retired knight, Duchess of Lumford. Is that like a ford near the River Lum? I don't know. Pleasure to meet you, so on and so forth. Now, can you kindly direct me to the wine so I can get some drinks in me before the circus arrives? You are the last to arrive, Your Grace. Our other guests are already inside. Oh, for the love of Sarah Doman. In that case, perhaps you could direct me to the nearest dragon so that I may be put out of my misery? I'll just head north. Oh, I fear that wouldn't be in keeping with the spirit of the banquet, Your Grace. Shame. Suppose I'd best get this over with, then. Alright, that is the last of our guests. Do not say I didn't warn you. We've got this. Bianca and myself will prepare the feast. I advise you take this opportunity to converse with our guests. Remember, all eyes are upon us. This is our formal introduction to the Miscellanean political scene. To put it plainly, don't mess it up. Alright. I feel like I'm kind of wearing the wrong clothes for this, but whatever. Are they just all in here? Alright, we got everyone in here. Do I really have to talk to everyone, or can I just, like, skip? I don't know. What's this I hear about the king getting a special dish for his appetizer? His Majesty is unable to consume the entree Duchess Alba brought, therefore, if the king is having it, I want it as well, with extra garlic. Make it happen. Pardon me, Your Grace, but the dish does not have... You don't think I'm good enough to eat the same food as the king, do you? Just make him the dish, Aster. By all means, Your Grace, the good Duke shall have what he requests. I'm pleased you managed to see reason. Alright, okay, good. We'll talk to Simon then. And I know we've only got to talk to 3 of them. I heard the cook is making hollyhock sorbet for dessert. How Wait, did you say hollyhock? Isn't that incredibly poisonous? Not necessarily, darling. The plant itself is poisonous, but the roots are perfectly safe to consume when boiled. In fact, it's quite the delicacy. How on Gielinor do you know that? My second wife taught me. She was a master alchemist, after all. Sadly, she accidentally poisoned herself brewing mushroom tea. Ew, gross. That sounds like quite a novice mistake for a master alchemist. She was colorblind, my dear, and couldn't tell the blue-spotted bittercaps from the green-spotted ones. It was truly tragic. So Duke Horse will be your, what, 3rd marriage? Oh, there were several more in between. I'm afraid I may have lost count. Princess, no! Aw, blast it, she's run off to the kitchen. This is why I'm more of a cat person. Don't all jump to stop her. Now, just leave it to me. As always, it's fine. I suppose I'll come with you. I need to bring the appetizers I brought to the kitchen. Alright. I'm assuming the king is the last group. Is he upstairs? Oh wow, there's a lot of people up here, actually. Oh no, wait, those are downstairs. There are a lot of people up here, but not as many as I thought. I wasn't expecting to see NPCs on a different level. That's quite rare in RuneScape. I didn't expect to see Lord Rodney here. Your Majesty, is it true that you and he... Enough, Iris. Excuse me, I'd like to discuss the supplies you brought. Is this a bad time? Not at all, please continue. Oh, it's you. Beatrice, is it? Bianca, Your Majesty. Alright, I have high expectations for the feast tonight. Don't disappoint me. Of course, please, allow me to take these supplies through to the kitchen. I wonder how the banquet preparations are going. I should speak to Aster. Alright. Wow, look at all these options on these stairs. Alright, I assume Aster is in the kitchen. No, wait, she's still where? Yeah, right here. How's the banquet coming along? The feast is ready to be served. Shall I call our guests to the table? Yes, let's start the feast. Thank you for inviting us to this fine fort of yours, Duke KaBob. Fine fort? It looks like a wayward sneeze would topple it. This is what will protect us from the dangers beyond the wall? Edgeville alone faces incursions on a weekly basis. Yeah, and you don't have a wall. My people need, nay, deserve, far better. I don't see you offering any support. Okay, I didn't see you offering any resources to assist with the construction of this fortress. What would you ask of me? We lack the time between assaults to rebuild our own defenses, let alone divert our resources to this eyesore. And what was King Rold's reason for not offering more support, given it is he who placed the construction of this place on their shoulders? Watch yourself, Alba. No, I don't believe I will. Don't think I've forgotten what you did during the famine, how Lumford's food stores were seized by the capital, while our people went hungry. I sent multiple requests to open conversations on the topic, none of which were returned. My hand was forced. I apologize profusely for not responding to the demand to surrender half of our grain stores. How dare I? That you had grain stores at all speaks of the excess food Lumford hoarded while the capital starved. So, Duke KaBob, I heard that you're a renowned adventurer? Surely you have a tale you can share with us. We'll talk about Aftermath since we just did it. And so, I re-established the edicts in order to stop Zamorak from taking over Gielinor. Amazing. That is a legitimately impressive tale. I was also quite the accomplished warrior back in my day. Queen Illimeria threw everything into her adventures, forgoing all else. She left herself no time for rest, recreation, her relationships. Don't you dare. Duke Horse is sounding a bit hoarse. Ooh, I know this game. A play. 5 words? You alright, dear? You're shaking. You're also in the floor. Cole! Should I get him some water? I do believe he's dead. Lock down the fort, now. Locking down the fort because this duke choked on his dinner? This is madness. Look at the discoloration of his skin, the way he acted. This wasn't a natural death. No, it wasn't. I know poisoning when I see it. Says the guy on, like, his 12th marriage. You seem suspiciously familiar with poison. My first husband was a mortician, until he tripped and fell into the cremator. And now the late Duke has died in equally suspicious circumstances. Are you suggesting I did this? If the Duke was indeed poisoned, the only people with access to the meal or his person are in this very room. Well, what if the supplies were poisoned before they were brought here, or the dessert was not prepared correctly? Each of you ate the same banquet as him, did you not? Am I going to die? Calm down, Lady Ruthven. We have a murderer in our midst, of that I am certain. An attack on a Duke of Mistlane is an attack on the kingdom itself. Nobody leaves until we know who or what we're dealing with. Duke KaBob, this heinous act took place within your walls. You have until sunrise to discover the perpetrator's identity and see that they are dealt with. If you cannot, and the fort is deemed unsafe, that could have serious consequences. Do not fail us. It would appear my many years of experience analyzing mystery novels may be put to practical use. I'm glad I have your support. Together, I'm confident we can solve this heinous crime. Our suspects, pardon me, our guests, have disseminated throughout the fort, though it took some convincing on Rodney's part. Interrogate carries strong connotations, but I would deem some questioning appropriate, given the events that have unfolded. Additionally, there is surely evidence pertaining to the crime scattered across the grounds of the fort. Search for clues and interrogate the suspects. Got it. It is rather embarrassing, but I happen to possess a mystery journal I used to solve mysteries as a child. Perhaps it will assist us in keeping track of the various clues and information we discover. You just carry that on your person at all times, huh? Let's get to work. Alright, mystery journal. Oh, it's already filled out, too. Very convenient. Come on. They got the pronouns in this book? Jeez. That's crazy. Alright, well anyway. It's a very detailed book, for sure. I guess we'll talk to everyone? It is a shame the feast was cancelled. So much good food and drink gone to waste. Did you notice anything suspicious? Aside from the Duke of Edgewell writhing and screaming as he died at the table? Not particularly. Do you suspect Lord Rodney? The man goes through spouses as quickly as I go through undergarments, and always seems to come out better off for it. But to murder the Duke of Edgewell in such a manner, I find it difficult to believe that he would do such a thing. Thank you for your time. That's all for now. Alright, we didn't get any, like, check mark for that, but, maybe something would show up. I don't know. Who did we just talk about? Rodney. Alright. Is there something you need? Did you notice anything suspicious? The food and drink was left unattended for a time after the cook went to speak to His Majesty. Lady Ruthven left briefly during that period, through the main door of the town hall to powder her nose, she said. Besides that, I didn't see anything. You paid a lot of attention to what was going on in the kitchen. Well, I am the royal wine taster. If something happened, it's my life that is on the line. Watching what happened to Duke Horse, knowing that could have been me. You also test the king's food? Or are you strictly a wine taster? Only wine and other beverages, your grace. Not checking the food as well somewhat defeats the purpose, does it not? It's mostly about maintaining appearances. Not many outside the royal family's inner circle know how superficial my role truly is. That's all for now, I guess. Okay, what information am I actually supposed to be gathering here? Because this is going to take forever if I just talk to everyone. Okay, first things first, we're apparently supposed to go to the kitchen. Apparently talking to these people is just a waste of time. Well, there's a dagger in here. That's kind of suspicious. Ammon Ra. What a peculiar name. Mauritanian, perhaps? Alright, nut roast. You'd think it would be common knowledge among the nobility that King Rold has a severe nut allergy. One cannot ignore the possibility that there was foul play involved with this gift. We should investigate. Okay, that is an actual clue. And now we need to go investigate a satchel that is on the ground somewhere, I think over here. Could be, or I could be wrong. Not seeing it. That looked like something, but it was not something. Where is it? It says it's the western side of the town hall and a strange satchel on the ground. I thought this was the western side of the town hall, is it not? Is this something else? I can sit on a bench. I don't know, maybe I'm blind. I could investigate his body, I guess. Duke was an unpleasant man, but he did not deserve this. We'll find out who's responsible. Alright, well, there's nothing there. Apparently. I'm not seeing the satchel that it's mentioning. I don't know what that means. Maybe it means outside? Oh, yeah, it is outside. Alright, very suspicious. How to Poison Dummies for Dummies. There's a conspicuous title for a book if I ever saw one. I should add this to my collection. Perhaps that is not the wisest thing to announce at this time, Your Grace. A page also seems to have been torn out. How peculiar. Alright, well that's a clue. Next up is the northeastern corner to find a half-buried box. Oh wait. We need to take it to Simon, I guess? Link a clue to Simon. Okay, that's interesting. My book? Where did you find this? In the courtyard, inside a satchel full of vials and strange herbs. I was certain I'd lost it when the Zamorakians attacked our retinue on the King's Road. I promise you, I have no idea how it ended up here. You must be aware of how suspicious such a book appears in this situation. Well, what? This has nothing to do with the Duke. I assure you, in my line of work, a sound knowledge of poisons is vital. This book not only describes how to create poisons, but also how to create a potion that detects them. Or that detect them. Just look here. Oh dear. The page that was torn out of the book is the one describing how to create a potion that detects poisons? How convenient. That page was definitely there when I last read it. Fortunately, I have most of it memorized. Would you be so kind as to write down the instructions for us? Of course. Thank you. Alright, so that's clue 3 of 8. Now we can go find this buried, well, half-buried box. Oh yeah, that's pretty obvious. Especially because that mushroom is very bright. Is that jewelry I spot? What is it doing inside this half-buried box? This stuff looks incredibly valuable. Fit for a queen, you could say. I wonder if it was stolen. We should ask around. Alright, well, I would assume we would ask the queen about it. It was right over here. I guess we probably link the clue. My missing jewelry! Where did you get this? We suspect it was stolen, Your Majesty. We shall return them as soon as we find the thief and conclude our investigation. Alright. That didn't count as a clue, though. It is a shame the feast was cancelled. So much good food and drink gone to waste. Okay, well, there's nothing there. Alright. So we want to go back to the satchel, apparently. Take a vial. Any vial. Alright, we got a vial. What do I do next? Okay, we want to search for hollyhock, apparently. Which we already know is poisonous, so I don't know that we need to detect that as poison. But, where is it going to be in here? Supply cupboard, probably? Take a hollyhock, please. Alright, oh, it looks different than I expected. Alright, so what do we do with that? We do this. Then we do this. Alright, now we have poison detection potion. Oh, convenient. Hollyhock was the ingredient. I guess, or does it match whatever ingredient you put in there? Interesting. Okay, so now we use it on his meal, apparently. Which I assume would be the one right in front of him. Oh, does it say meat pate? It's bubbling, as described in Simon's notes. The Duke's pate was poisoned using hollyhock, just as I suspected. Alright, so what do we do next? King rolled in the chapel, apparently. This quest would definitely take a lot longer without a guide. But I don't think you guys watching me stumble around is all that interesting. I trust your investigation is proceeding smoothly? What do we ask? Alright. Did you notice anything suspicious during the banquet? I don't recall seeing or hearing anything suspicious. I did notice that Duke Horse ate the same starter as me, which struck me as odd. The only reason I had that pate is because I'm deathly allergic to nuts. Was there anything unusual about the pate? Besides its unique taste, no, the chef did seem to be rather heavy-handed with the garlic. Do you know why Duke Horse may have been targeted? As you witnessed, he could be quite the difficult man, but I do not know what anyone present had to gain by killing him. Well, I mean, we just obviously know. Like, if my character wasn't stupid, he would have been like, garlic? Thank you for your time. Alright, that's all for now. Yeah, it's like, I already know what happened. They were trying to kill the king. But because he requested the duplicate meal, and I was like, yeah, that's a good idea. Then, yeah. Alright, we need to find Duchess Alba, wherever she is. Like the only character I've not found. Does it say where she is? It does not say where she is. Oh, great. It's Iris. How am I not seeing Alba? Unless she went upstairs. I'm so confused. I guess there's still a building I've not looked in. Seers in there. Do we have an Alba in the house? Yes, we do. Alright, want to link a clue and the nut roast. Alba, you are the one who brought these nut roasts to the banquet, are you not? I am. Were you aware that King Rold is deathly allergic to nuts when you decided to bring them? Of course I was. Why do you think I brought them? I don't even like the damn things, but if it gets under his skin, it's worth every nutty bite. That is incredibly irresponsible, not to mention petty. What can I say? I'm a petty old woman. Let's be honest, if I meant him any real harm, I wouldn't have announced the nature of the dish to the staff beforehand. Fair point. I mean, that's not technically the only solution there. Okay, so now we need to find Bianca, apparently. Is she over here? That's Iris. I know I saw her, right? I don't know, I've seen so many people in the last few seconds. Ah, there she is. Sister. She's apparently guilty of something. We found this box of jewelry half buried behind the kitchen. You wouldn't happen to have any idea where it came from, would you? I must confess, Your Grace, I am the one responsible for placing this box there. What? I found this jewelry scattered near the road as I approached the fort. And you took them. My sister is no thief, she would never. No, they're right. As soon as I heard that the king and the queen's retinue was attacked along the road, I knew these belonged to them. But times have been rough lately. The money would be life-changing, so instead of returning them, I placed them in this box and hid it. I can't let this reflect poorly on me. They are right. Having a member of our staff stealing from the royal family reflects incredibly poorly on us. I'm sorry, Bee. I know that... It's alright, I understand. I promise I will not make the same mistake again. Let us continue this conversation later, once more pressing matters have been dealt with. I believe we have uncovered all we can for now. Let us discuss our findings in private. The roof of the town hall seems like a sensible choice. Let's head there. I was wondering what was on the roof, after I saw that there was another floor. A wilderness flash event. At some point I'm going to have to do all of those. I've never done a single one so far. But maybe after Necromancy's hyped down a bit, we'll do it. We should be able to discuss our findings in private here. Simon's satchel was found in the courtyard and contained a suspicious book with one page missing. He claims he lost it when the king's retinue was attacked along the King's Road. Either he is lying to us, or he was set up. Alba brought the nut roast to the banquet, ensuring that the king required a custom dish. The Duke requested it as well, out of jealousy. It is possible that the plates were mixed up, and the pate that killed Duke Horse was meant to be served to King Rold. We also found a hastily buried box containing the queen's jewelry. Bianca admitted to finding it along the King's Road and taking it for herself. I would never have dreamt that she would resort to, watch out! Oh no. Okay, wow. Alright, yeah, this is why we brought this staff. He thought I was unarmed, but he was very much mistaken. Alright. Kind of a lame attack, honestly. I'd best check on Aster first. They look fine to me. Aster, are you injured? I am unharmed, Your Grace. Fortunately, our assailant merely incapacitated me. This is just like that scene in Mute Witness where... Ah, that reminds me, we should inspect the assassin's body for evidence. What's this? The new Duke is on to me. We can't let them know I poisoned the Duke. Not while our work is unfinished. Wait until they are isolated from the rest of the group and see that they are dealt with. I'll open the gates. Remember, we need the steward alive. Remember, we need the steward alive. What do I have to do with this? And it says I'll open the gates. We should check on the guests. Bottom floor, please. It's nice to have that feature. Oh look, everyone's gathered, and apparently Simon has died now. What happened here? I heard an ear-piercing scream and made my way out of the chapel to investigate, only to find these foul beasts running straight for me. Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that. If it hadn't been for Ella's timely intervention, I would have surely met the same fate as poor Simon here. Nothing is happening to you while I'm here, Rold. Nothing. Simon deserved better than this. Such a lapse in security is unbecoming of you, Duke. Explain yourself. Were several of the King's Guard not stationed at the North Gate? They were, Your Grace. Once the beasts were incapacitated, I arrived at the North Gate to find the guards unconscious and the gates ajar. They appear to have suffered a heavy blow to the back of their head and are being monitored as we speak. Were any of the King's Guard unaccounted for? All but one were accounted for, Your Grace. While we were discussing our findings on the roof of the town hall, Aster and myself were beset by an assassin wearing the armor of the King's Guard. That must be the member of Their Majesty's entourage who missed the roll call. There was an assassin hiding amongst our contingent? Damn it, such carelessness should be beneath me. They must be the one who poisoned my dear Cole. No, I don't believe that is possible. They had no access to his meal and were preoccupied fighting the Duke when the gates were opened. Aster was with me the entire time. I know they can't have opened the gate. One would hope I was never a prime suspect to begin with. Though given the frequency at which stewards are responsible for such crimes in fiction, I understand the suspicion. This note we found on the assassin's body indicates that the person responsible for poisoning the Duke opened the gates. They now have the blood of 2 people on their hands. Station more of the King's Guard at the North Gate, and ensure the suspects are under surveillance at all times. As you command, Your Grace. Just how long do you expect us to follow along with this charade? For a little while longer, Duchess Hyatt. I support the Duke's call. I, for one, will be in the command center, enjoying what little peace I can. Alright, we got even more stuff to do, apparently. First things first, something's on the ground near the chapel, apparently, although I am not seeing it. Do I have to talk to someone? No, apparently. Oh, apparently it's going to be on the ground over here. Ah. What's this? It looks like a wax seal that would have been used on a letter. This iconography. I can't say I've never seen anything quite like it. We need to find out who has been receiving letters in private. Alright, now we need to go speak to Duchess Alba in the command center, which I believe is this building here. Because it is. It's also where she was before. Okay, what are we going to do here? Acquire a testimony. Let's get this over with, shall we? Where were you during the attack? None of your bloody business. Okay, that's helpful. What's your beef with King Rold? My beef isn't against Rold, not really. But his father Rold II and the Romanus family as a whole, damn them all. May I ask what transpired between you and the Romanus family? My dear Henry, my son, those vile Zamorakians sunk their foul claws into him, twisted his mind. He was always a sickly boy, an outcast, easy prey for those wicked people, got caught up in things he shouldn't have. King Rold II didn't know the meaning of the word mercy. He decided to make an example of my poor boy. He was still a child. It was 20 years ago, to the day. It hasn't become any easier. You can't hold his father's actions against him. Shouldn't and can't are two very different things, Duke. The king is an honest man. He granted me a duchy in honor of my service to his father, to make amends for what transpired back then. But he will never free himself from his father's actions, not while he bears his name. Alright, that's all for now. Finally, some peace. Alright, what next? Queen. It's interesting they don't put Queen in her name. Alright, what are we gonna do? Just testimony, huh? This night has been an interesting one. That much is certain, but my patience is wearing thin. You slew all three of those dark beasts by yourself? It was nothing, I assure you. Merely some old tricks from my monster hunting days. They were clumsy, lumbering things, quite simple to strike down. My blade work certainly isn't what it used to be, having been dulled by years of political posturing and a lack of practice. Do you know anything about the assassin who was disguised as one of your guards? Rold and myself were just discussing this. We know not the identity of said guard, nor how they infiltrated our retinue. Mark my words, I will be having a talk with our captain of the guard when we return to the palace. That I allowed this to happen reflects as poorly on myself as the Duke's murder does on you. That's all for now, I guess. Don't disappoint us, KaBob. That didn't even count as unlocking a clue. I guess I skipped a step then? I don't know. We need to go inside the town hall and find a burned letter or something. This parchment is still warm. It must have only recently fallen from the fireplace. Was one of our guests attempting to destroy evidence? Of Duke Cole, Augustus Horse, Duchy of Edgeville, and fortune are to be inherited by... There's what appears to be a list of assets beneath, but that's all I can make out. This is clearly the late Duke's last will and testament. Someone was trying to destroy it? But why? Alright, that's clue 4. Huh. Apparently, I need to talk to Iris, who is over here, I think. Not had any chat with her since this whole scene started. Let's see what we got here. Do we link it? Alright, yes, we link the seal. We found this wax seal behind the chapel, Iris. Oh, this must have fallen off the letter my friend sent me. Your friends? I have some friends who like hearing my gossip, that's all. I received a letter by Raven from them asking about the banquet, so I sent them a response. They seemed very concerned about the king's well-being. What did you tell them? I told them about the tension between Lord Rodney and the Queen, some intriguing rumors Alba was telling me, oh, and that the Duke was murdered. He's probably the one they should have been worried about. I cannot discern if Lady Ruthven is remarkably cunning or unspeakably dim-witted. I'm not sure. I'm so sorry if I've done something that's upset you. Here, I'll lend you this as a token of apology. It's an amulet of spaniel speak. That is incredibly specific. I heard the Duke owned a spaniel, so I thought I'd bring this along. Animals make for fantastic conversation partners, so I own a bunch of them. Hopefully speaking to Princess will help you with your investigation, especially if my theory is true. Alright, very good. Alright, then where is Princess? There we go. Can we just talk now? We should utilize the Amulet of Spaniel Speak Lady Ruthven lent us. I guess we have to link it then. Seems like a bit of an unnecessary step. Hello, Princess. Talking! You're talking! Please, help! Father ate strange-smelling meat, and now he's not moving. Sad, confused. We think somebody poisoned him. I know it won't bring him back, but I'm trying to find out who did it. Why would anyone hurt Father? He gave the best treats, and belly rubs, and pats. I'm not sure. I don't suppose you have seen anything suspicious? Anything that could be a clue? Lots of suspicious things around. Things buried, strange smells, strange people. Show you, show you. Lead the way. Alright. Select. Northwest. Alright, well there's not much in that direction, so that's good. I'm really feel like I'm losing my voice from recording all these episodes fast. I hope that doesn't happen. I would hate to lose my voice right before Necromancy comes out. So I want to finish recording these episodes before Sunday, so I can have a rest. Yes, can you not get stuck in here, please? That would be great. It's going to be near this bird, a raven. Goodbye, raven. How far to the west do we have to go? Alright. Treasure! Perhaps, but this treasure isn't going to help us find who hurt your father. More suspicious things over there. Come, come! Now what? Southeast. Alright, I'm just going to assume it's going to be really far away. And we're just going to run all the way to the southeast before we talk to this dog again. Oh, no, it's not. Okay. It's going to be near the well then? I'm trying to think where I would put it as a game designer, but it's probably more about what's convenient. It definitely could be in this general area. South? Really? It's going to be buried in the tile? Is it going to be the guy? This is Her Majesty, the Queen, Princess. Scary lady smells strange. Must be her, must be. Heh, this is a good girl, isn't she? Reminds me of the Labrador I had as a child. Scary lady gives good pets. Nice lady. No, can't be her. One more thing hidden. Come with me, come. Alright, now we're going where I thought we would be going. But we're in the specific area. Northeast. Don't chop down the freaking tree. Oh, I want to... Okay, is it going to be inside then? Surely not. It's going to be up here. There's been 2 things up here already. Although getting the dog up here is kind of annoying, so I guess we probably can... Okay, it's going to be in the church then. Who was in the church? Was it rolled? I mean, this candlestick's kind of suspicious. Oh, there's a door here. I didn't know about that. Oh. Zamorak seal. Great. This could be the breakthrough we have been searching for. Fine work, Princess. Yay, helpful, helpful. Alright. Okay. Yep. By Z, so probably Zemergull. Definitely not Zamorak at this point in time. Who else has a Z name? Alright, so what do we do next then? I have kind of lost to where we're supposed to go. Okay, we need to speak to Rodney, apparently. Which I guess we also haven't done, I think, so that makes sense. Simon seemed like a nice chap. What a shame. We'll ask about Elamaria. What went on between you and Elamaria? She's loath to admit it nowadays, but we were lovers once. She was my first love, you know. Ah, it's something you never do forget. Things didn't work out between us, as you may have guessed. She cared at first, for the world, for people, but as her notoriety Notoriety grew, so did her ego. She became unbearable. Don't take my word for it. Ask Bianca. Bianca? She and Ella were inseparable back then, drank the nights away in the Blue Moon Inn together. I do recall Bianca mentioning a friend named Ella, but it never once occurred to me that said friend was Queen Elamaria herself. I wonder what Elamaria has to say about this. We should ask her about it. Alright, that's all for now. Yeah, that's why we didn't get the clue, I think, from her earlier, is because I did things out of order, apparently. I didn't think it would matter. Alright, yeah, we've had that dialogue before. I heard you were once friends with Bianca, before you became queen. The cook? Yes, we knew each other, back when I was shearing sheep and baking cakes for the Duke of Lumbridge to make a living. You could say we were close once, it's why I agreed to hire her as a personal cook after I married Rold. But she left our service on bad terms. Why was that? She destroyed a family heirloom of ours, claimed it was an accident, of course. Ha, likely story. She believes that I became queen by chance, that Rold simply plucked me from the streets of Varrock and made me his bride because he admired my beauty. That had Rold seen her first, she might have been chosen instead. Elamaria was proactive in dealing with the troubles of the times. She went so far as to sneak into formal functions to bring matters to my attention that my advisors dared not. Her drive and passion is what drew me to her. I see. Alright, and now we go to Rodney, apparently. Probably could have just done this before, but whatever. Link a clue. Scorched Will. You wouldn't happen to know anything about this burnt parchment we found near the town hall fireplace, would you, Rodney? What? No. Never seen it before in my life. Interesting, because it's clearly the remains of the late Duke's will. Oh, blast it. Very well, dear, you've caught me. I knew where my beloved kept his will. Given what happened, I figured I would check if he had redrafted it to include me. And? According to that will, everything is to go to Princess, the bloody dog, his fortune, the Duchy of Edgeville, everything. Can a spaniel legally inherit a duchy? I was married to a barrister once, who succumbed to a horrific paper cut, may he rest in peace, but damn if I know. And I wasn't willing to find out. I was halfway through burning the blasted thing when a scream came from the courtyard. Spooked me. I came out to see Ella standing over the bodies of those foul beasts, coated in their blood. It was quite the enrapturing sight. Thank you for being honest with us, eventually. Any time, darling. Please, end this quickly. I doubt my heart can withstand another shocking turn of events. I feel like we're pretty much done gathering things now. I hope. Because it is getting late. I believe we have discovered all the evidence we can. We should share our findings with King Rold and Queen Elamaria. Shall I gather our guests in the courtyard? Yes, I'm ready. Alright guys, real quick. I had a slight issue and messed up a small section of the recording, so I'm doing this section on my other account. It shouldn't really affect anything. I honestly don't even really remember what happens in this small bit. I just look different is all. We are eager to hear the result of your investigation, Duke KaBob. Let's review the evidence. Simon's satchel seems like an appropriate place to start. How did it end up in the courtyard? Why was a page torn out of the book? It was found on the King's Road. Simon told us that when the King and Queen's retinue was attacked by cultists along the King's Road, he lost his satchel in the commotion. The murderer must have arrived afterwards, finding it by the side of the road while making their way to the fort. They tore out the page detailing how to brew poison detection potions and dumped the satchel in the courtyard to frame him. But what reason would they have to kill the Duke of Edgeville? Is the murderer another of Lord Rodney's exes? Please, Lady Ruthven, let's not get ahead of yourself. They didn't. King Rold was their target. King Rold was their true target. They knew that he would be eating a custom dish and that Simon only tested his beverages, not his meals. But they did not expect the Duke to insist on having the same dish as the King. The plates were mixed up when Aster was serving the table, and the poisoned pate was served to Duke Horse by mistake. And what of the assassin who infiltrated our entourage? The assassin was assigned to the murderer by their Zamorakian benefactors as a last resort should subterfuge fail. The note we found on their body read, "Remember, we need the steward alive. Why did they need me alive?" It was an excuse to protect you. I suspect the person who wrote that note was trying to protect you. Protect me? Most importantly, why do any of this? What was their motive in committing regicide? They had to take revenge on the Queen. It wasn't about you, Your Majesty, not really. The sole target of their scorn is Queen Elimaria. The Zamorakians offered the murderer a means of destroying that which Queen Elimaria cares about most, you. What is your conclusion then, Duke KaBob? Who is responsible for the murder of Duke Horse? It is obviously going to be Bianca. And although this is the second time I'm doing it, I did have it right the first time. Nothing's changed. It was Bianca. Do you honestly believe I murdered the Duke, Aster? You admitted to finding jewelry belonging to Queen Elimaria strewn along the King's Road. It stands to reason that you also discovered Simon's satchel. You know about Hollyhock and how to utilize it in your culinary work. You knew Simon merely tested the King's beverages from your time working at the palace. That the assassin was ordered not to harm me, your soured relationship with the Queen. I do not want to believe it be, but I cannot deny the evidence. Well done, Aster. You and the Duke figured it out. Those fanciful novels of yours prepared you for this, no doubt. Ask yourself, why do you let these high-born scum lord over you? You're better than this. We're better than this. Better? You murdered 2 innocent people. The Duke was yet another arrogant leech, born into power he neither earned nor deserved. He cared for the lives of his people, more so than even his own. Not that you could understand, you pathetic, selfish wretch. What about poor Simon? What did he do to deserve this? I didn't plan for the beast to kill him. He deserved better. He was a friend. But he didn't respect himself enough to better his miserable life. I do. You ungrateful, obnoxious little... Ungrateful? Should I have sung your praises for being offered the opportunity to serve you and your new husband? You always thought you were better than me. You don't deserve the throne you were handed. Enough. In planning to assassinate me, she has committed treason against the kingdom of Mistlin. No, KaBob, please. I know that her crimes cannot be forgiven nor forgotten, but the punishment for treason is too good for her, in my opinion. She broke the law and needs to pay the price. Say the word, Rold, and I'll execute the sentence right here, right now. Calm, dear. She will be sent to the capital and tried for her crimes, however certain the outcome may be. Shh. Very well, get her out of my sight. Alright, well, we're back to the main account after that little bit of an issue. We'll just finish up the quest real quick, I guess. Fine work, Duke KaBob. I knew my faith in you was not misplaced. We are ready to depart for the capital once you declare tonight's banquet over. Yeah, let's just end it right now. Aster takes 2 weeks leave following the events of the banquet to reflect on all that transpired. Alright. Oh, nice. Purple. Greetings, Your Grace. It is good to be back. I see that the post-banquet cleanup has been meticulously executed in my absence. How are you feeling, Aster? Well, Your Grace, all things considered, please do not worry about me. It was wonderful to have the opportunity to live out a real murder mystery, even if the end result was more akin to a nightmare than a dream. To think that Bee murdered 2 innocent people. How little I knew about her situation. Could I have prevented it getting to this point? I will miss her. But I am more than ready to resume my managerial responsibilities here. Speaking of which, Lord Rodney would like to have a word with you. You will find him in the kitchen. Rodney? I wasn't expecting that. He's wearing a chef hat. Duke KaBob, it is simply marvelous to see you again, dear. Under less dire circumstances, it would appear. What are you doing here? Ah, yes. Well, you see, as it turns out, a spaniel is not able to to legally inherit a duchy despite Cole's wishes. The position was ultimately given to his younger sister. Suffice it to say, she did not appreciate her brother leaving the duchy to his dog over her. And she never liked me much to begin with. Both Princess and myself have been banished from Edgeville until further notice. Fortunately, your darling steward graciously offered us a position here. I know a thing or two about cooking, you know. My third wife was a baker. How did she die? What? Sharon isn't dead, darling. We parted ways very amicably. Just don't murder anyone. Wouldn't dream of it, dear. I've been discussing potential improvements to these facilities with your ruggedly handsome blueprint manager. Hopefully you'll be quite pleased when you see the results. And that is quest complete. Alright. Fun stuff. Now we can upgrade the kitchen, which I'll get around to at some point. We also got a construction XP lamp of minimal level. And also a little bit of XP that can go into Herblore, I guess. Not really a big impact there, but hey, it's something, I guess. Alright, well that's another quest down. I will see you guys next episode for the next quest. Until then, see you later. Bye!